The knot in a mother's stomach, the kind that twists and tightens with every unanswered phone call, every empty chair at the dinner table. That is a feeling no one can truly understand unless they've lived it. It's a silent scream, a constant ache, a world turned upside down. This is the reality of countless families touched by tragedy, a reality laid bare in the chilling details of a case that, despite its haunting nature, remains largely unknown. This is the story of a missing daughter, a murdered woman, and a web of suspicion spun around a man whose shadow seems to have consumed them both. This is a case that demands to be told, not just for the sake of the victims, but to shed light on the darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface of everyday life. What we can say is this: the missing daughter was a young woman, vibrant, full of life, and loved by many. Let's call her Emily. Emily was in her early 20s, a bright spark with a laugh that could fill a room and a future that seemed limitless. She worked part-time at a local bookstore, the scent of old paper and ink clinging to her like a second skin, a reflection of her quiet love for stories and imagination. She was artistic, her small apartment adorned with sketches and paintings that hinted at a deeper emotional landscape. She had a close-knit circle of friends who described her as fiercely loyal and compassionate, always the first to offer a listening ear or a helping hand. Emily lived in a modest, tree-lined neighborhood, a place that exuded a sense of quiet community, where porch lights flickered on at dusk and the sounds of children playing often drifted through the summer air. Her disappearance was abrupt, a sudden void that ripped through the fabric of her family's life. One moment she was there, full of plans and dreams. The next, she was gone, leaving behind only a chilling silence and a gnawing uncertainty. The murdered woman, whom we'll refer to as Sarah, was a woman whose life, though tragically cut short, was marked by a quiet resilience. Sarah was older than Emily, perhaps in her late 30s or early 40s, a woman who had weathered her own storms and emerged with a quiet strength. Details about Sarah's life are scarce, a testament to the isolated nature of her victimhood. It's understood she was a solitary figure, perhaps struggling with personal demons or simply seeking peace away from the prying eyes of the world. She had moved to the edge of town seeking anonymity, residing in a small, sparsely furnished bungalow on a gravel road, its windows perpetually curtained. The brutal fact of her death, however, is undeniable. A violent end that robbed her of the life she was living, however private it may have been. The location of Sarah's demise was a stark contrast to Emily's vibrant neighborhood. It was a more isolated, perhaps neglected, stretch of land on the outskirts of town, a place where the trees grew thicker and the shadows lingered longer, a forgotten corner of the county where nature encroached upon human habitation. The earth there was often damp, carrying the scent of decaying leaves, and the silence was broken only by the rustling of unseen creatures. The man suspected of these crimes, whom we will refer to as Mr. X for the sake of this article, is the central figure in this harrowing narrative. Information about him is limited, and much remains unknown, but what we do know paints a disturbing picture. Mr. X was known to drift through the periphery of both victims' lives, a figure whose presence was felt but not fully understood. He was a man with secrets, a man who may have harbored a darkness that would eventually consume the lives of others. He had a past, though the full extent of it is still being pieced together by investigators, hinting at a history of instability and perhaps a propensity for violence that lay dormant until it found its tragic expression. His current life was equally shrouded in an unsettling vagueness. He was known to frequent certain establishments, to keep odd hours, and to possess an aura of detachment that kept most people at a distance. His connection to both Emily and Sarah, or at least the strong likelihood of a connection, is the most disturbing element. Investigators, combing through surveillance footage and witness statements, meticulously pieced together a timeline, painstakingly documenting Mr. X's movements. They believe Mr. X may have encountered Emily through chance encounters, perhaps in the bookstore where she worked, a place filled with the hushed reverence of literature, or in the broader community. His link to Sarah is even more opaque, suggesting a more deliberate or perhaps opportunistic encounter in the more desolate area where she met her end, a location that detectives painstakingly sifted through grainy CCTV footage from local businesses, cross-referencing it with cell tower pings and anonymous tips, attempting to build a concrete bridge between the suspect and the victims. The impact of this case on the families is nothing short of devastating. Emily's parents, once vibrant and active members of their community, now exist in a perpetual state of subdued grief. Every passing day without their daughter is a fresh wound, the unanswered questions a constant torment. They meticulously replayed every conversation, every interaction, searching for clues, for any sign that they might have missed something, some subtle hint of the danger that lay ahead. They have maintained a tireless vigil, their hope for Emily's safe return slowly morphing into a desperate plea for justice. Sarah's loved ones, though fewer in number, are equally shattered. Their grief is compounded by the lack of clear answers, the inability to fully grasp the circumstances of her final moments. The community, too, is shaken. The once familiar streets now carry a subtle undercurrent of unease. The brutality of the crimes and the lingering fear that such evil could exist within their midst have cast a pall over their sense of security. Children are kept closer, and doors that were once routinely left unlocked are now secured. The palpable tension hung in the air, a heavy shroud of fear and suspicion. The case of the missing daughter and the murdered woman is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the insidious nature of evil. It is a story of loss, resilience, and the unwavering hope for justice. It demands our attention, not as a source of entertainment, but as a cautionary tale and a testament to the strength of the human spirit. It reminds us to value every moment, to cherish those we love, and to never underestimate the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. The discovery of Emily's purse among Mr. X's belongings became a pivotal, albeit agonizing, moment. It was a tangible link, a cruel confirmation of a connection that had been suspected but not proven. The recognition by Emily's mother, a woman whose face was etched with years of worry, was a gut-wrenching experience, turning a mother's desperate hope into a searing indictment of the man suspected of harming her daughter. This single item, once a symbol of Emily's everyday life, now represents a chilling piece of evidence in a profound mystery, a tangible piece of her stolen existence. As we reflect on this case, we are reminded that the search for truth is not always easy. It is a journey filled with heartache, frustration, and uncertainty. There are no easy answers, and sometimes the questions will persist. But the pursuit of justice must continue, for the sake of the victims, their families, and the promise of a better world. We must never forget the missing daughter, or the murdered woman, or the devastation wrought by the darkness that consumed their lives. Let their stories serve as a reminder of the importance of vigilance, empathy, and the eternal struggle for good against the forces of evil. The search for closure will continue. The battle for justice will endure, and the memories of those lost will forever be etched into the hearts of those who loved them. The case is a chilling reminder that true crime is not just about the cases. It is about the lives torn apart and the fight to seek justice. The missing daughter's purse remains a symbol of all that was stolen, and the silence surrounding the case becomes a testament to the enduring mystery that lingers on. It is a case that may never be completely closed, a haunting echo in the annals of unsolved tragedies, a plea for remembrance and resolution that continues to resonate.